guys, welcome to week 23 of my project life. I am using the Scarlet Lime Planner Society kit for this layout, and I really love these kits, and I've said this before for Project Life because they are geared toward planners. So the patterns and everything like that are a little bit smaller, so they work perfectly for Project Life. And she has the most beautiful washi tape and handmade papers, or not handmade, but hand designed papers that I've seen. So I really like them. So what I'm basically doing on this one is I stamped on the road, and it was not stamping all that well. So I just filled in all the spaces that were a little bit more bare with my black pen, and then that worked out perfectly. And then on this particular layout, I am going to be inking all of my edges in kind of a brownish color ink. It is from Ranger. It's one of the distressed inks. I think it might be frayed burlap, possibly. Maybe something a little bit more dark. Frayed burlap is a little bit more yellow. I think this is a little bit more brown ink. I was borrowing it from a friend at a crop, so I can't quite remember the name of the color that I was using. But anyway, this is the title card, and these are little die cut cactuses and things like that that came in the kit. This particular week we were in Colorado, so I thought this kit was perfect. It's a little bit tropical because it has flamingos and stuff, but I think with the cactus and the motif and things like that, I think it worked pretty well for Colorado. So also we got these little sequins that came in the kit, so I'm going to be using these throughout the pages as well. And I'm just going to be gluing these down with my liquid adhesive. I think glue dots probably work a little bit better, but I didn't have any glue dots here at the crop that I was at, so I'm just using my liquid adhesive. And then I'm using this blue font because I thought it did a very nice job of contrasting with the cards in this kit, so I thought that looked very pretty. So I'm just going to glue that down, and that title card is complete. Now I'm going to move on to another 3x4 card. And this one is a picture of my parents and I and my daughter at dinner, and I have that tab on that particular 3x4 card that was from the last page, and it worked perfect because I think the colors look good. So I'm going to take the stamp that says tourist, and I'm going to stamp it in a blue ink right there on that little blank space, and I thought that fit in pretty well. That is from an Allie Edwards travel stamp set that I borrowed from a friend. And then I am going to work on adding just a little bit extra to this card. I'm going to take that beautiful washi tape that I used on the other card at the very beginning of the video and add that to this card here, and it's just really pretty. It's got some gold accents and things in it. So I'm just going to be trimming off that excess because I am using the back of the card from the previous page, so I didn't want to just fold it over. And then I'm going to look on the sticker sheet to see if there's anything else I could use on this card. And I think I'm going to be pulling off, I'm going to pull off a little cactus. And that's just going to finish that little 3x4 card off. Next, I'm going to be moving to a picture of my mom and my daughter at the Denver Zoo. And that stamp of the little camera was a stamp that I had done, I think, a while back, and I had put it in my stash. So I just stamped that with some blue Stampin' Up! Ink. And then I stamped Journey with green, but it just didn't really show up very well, and I really like how this turned out. I added black on top, and it looks like that green was kind of a shadow. So that was a little happy accident. So I just glued that camera down and inked the edges, and I'm going to ink the edges of this particular card as well. And here's that blue. That's kind of where I pulled the blue color from the thickers from. I just really love this accent of that blue on this layout. This Love It is a stamp that I had stamped from a friend in just a pinkish coral ink from Stampin' Up. Here's another one of the stamps that love this photo in a green color ink. Again, just using some stamps and then cutting them out and using them as embellishments on my cards. And I absolutely love using stamps on my Project Life cards. It really helps you use embellishments, and you can customize them the way that you want, so you don't have to rely on having die cuts and things like that. You can just use some white cardstock, get your inks out, and then stamp a bunch of these kind of things and then use them throughout your project life. And that's kind of like, not really free embellishments, but it's a way to use your stamps up and a way to not be purchasing a lot of other things because you can really customize using those stamps. So next I'm going to be going on a little card here. This is some stickers we got in the kit. They are like this gold color. They're like a shiny mirror gold sticker, and I really thought those were cool, and they came in the Planner Society kit as well. Here I'm just going to be layering up a bunch of different little pieces of paper just to get some interest here. I'm going to use this little tab. I'm just going to glue that down to this top card, and like I said, I'm just going to kind of put these on top of each other and then kind of layer them. The favorite word here came from the Planner Society as well. They're for these tabs, and these are going in your planner typically, but I thought favorites was perfect for this layout with the Colorado because I absolutely love Colorado. I'm not sure if any of you guys are from Colorado, but that place is gorgeous. It's the first time I've ever visited, and I was just in awe almost the entire time. That capture today is a stamp again that I just stamped with Stampin' Up! Ink, and then I'm going to be using these little sequins that I have from the kit. They're little leaves and flowers, and I thought they looked really cute on this card, so I'm just kind of tucking them in different places until I kind of like the way they look. And I'm going to add another little leaf here over by this flower just to make it look like it's coming off the flower. And then I'm going to end up gluing that all down. So I'm just going to add some more sequins here, and then once I'm happy with the layout of the sequins, I'm going to glue it with my quick dry. And I'm just using my fine liner bottle. I love this bottle, so if you have any questions about that, let me know, but you can get that from Hobby Lobby and online as well. Here I'm going to be working on a picture of me and my daughter at the amusement park, and I'm just going to stamp the word adventure, and I'm actually going to stamp it on a piece of paper instead of stamping it quite on the card. I'm going to stamp it in black ink, and then I'm just going to stamp it here, and then I'm going to cut little flag banners out of each end of the adventure word, and I'm going to glue that down. I thought I was just getting a little bit, not lost on this card, but it was a little boring, so I wanted to add a little bit of color to the card. So that's why I decided to use the paper as opposed to just stamping it directly on the little card. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just going to cut a little fishtail banner into it just to make it a little more interesting. And then I'll move on to the next card. So this is a little flamingo card, and I thought, well, there's already flamingos on here, so I'm going to use one of the sticky notes that came in the kit that is a flamingo as well, just as an embellishment. And then I'm going to scatter around some sequins on this card as well. Just again to give it interest. This is just a filler card. I'm not going to be putting any writing or anything on this particular one. So I'm going to glue those down, and you're going to see it here in a second after it's been all glued. Then I am going to move on another filler card. This is a little clip that came in the kit. I think it was a clip, and I cut the clip off. I believe that it was a clip. It could have been just an embellishment. I can't quite remember now. But I'm gluing another one of those cameras, the same camera that I used earlier on the layout that was blue. I'm going to do that one in green over here. And then I am just going to tuck in a few of those sequins. I think they're very, very pretty. They kind of blend in the background, but I just think they give a nice little texture and dimension to the card without being like overpowering. So I really, really like how those little sequins looked on these cards, especially that flower one that's kind of that peachy pink color. So I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape here to ground it. I felt like it was floating a bit, so I thought it would look nice if I added a little bit of this here. So I'm just kind of carefully trying to tuck that under my stuff, and then I'll trim off the excess. And I really like how that turned out, and it just kind of helped ground that little cluster on the card. Now this is a picture of me and my daughter at the top of the mountain range where it was snowy. It was pretty cool that we went from like summer to snow, like winter, in just a couple minute drive, so that was pretty cool. Here is a circle that I ended up putting a bunch of washi tape on, and then I punched the circle out, and then I'm using it as a grounding element for this flower die cut. And that's a good idea to use if you have some busy backgrounds and you want to kind of separate the background from whatever you're putting on top of it. Doing like a little punch of another piece of pattern paper or a white circle, or like this, I use my washi tape, is a good way to kind of separate that busy background from the die cut that you're going to be using on top. So here I am going to be stamping the word scenic. I already added the little glasses, which is our sticker that came in the kit, and I'm going to add the word scenic in this kind of peachy color, and I'm going to just cut it out and then put a fishtail banner on the one end, and then I'm going to tuck it in underneath that little eyeglasses. And I could have stamped directly on the photo here as well, but I thought the fishtail would look a little bit better because I wanted it to overlap slightly with my photo, and it's kind of a white on white, you know, there's not a big difference in texture, but I thought that was kind of nice looking with the paper as opposed to just stamping it directly. So I'm going to add this do sticker here, and I'm going to use washi tape to anchor it so it's not floating around in the sky up there. And then here I'm going to be using this little floral and this little bag. We were leaving Colorado, so I thought this little bag was perfect for this particular card, and this was so fragile that I ended up snapping the little stem. So I had to really, really carefully pull it apart, and it ended up breaking in 3 pieces, unfortunately. But once you put it back together, you really, for the most part, can't tell that it snapped in those little places. So I'm just going to add some adhesive here to that little purse die cut, and that card is pretty much done. So I'm going to just be finishing up here. I have 1 or 2 more cards that I'm just going to add a little bit of extra stuff because I thought they were a little bit boring, and I wanted to tie in the thickers from the title card over to the right hand side of the page. So while I'm finishing putting these titles on, I wanted to thank you guys so much for joining me. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. You can just push that subscribe button in the bottom section. Or wherever it is on the device you're using, and I would love for you to be a subscriber of my channel. So I am just going to be adding here, these are some, what are they, Simple Stories Snap font stickers. They're the little square stickers, which I really, really like. I love this font, or these stickers. They just are really cute. I wish I could get more on a page. I wish I could get like a ton of these in the same colors, but I think they are just neat. I just like how the font is. It's a very nice, like, kind of typewriter font. So I'm just going to add the word view here on this card. So the one of the photos that are next to it has a picture of the mountain range, I think. So I am just adding the word view, and I'm going to do it in capitals. I started doing it in the lowercase, but I didn't have a particular letter, I think an I possibly. So I decided to do it all in uppercase for this one. And that is it. These are all the pictures. If you guys have any questions, like I said, just leave them below, and I will see you or talk to you guys again next time. Bye!